entering Glen. Well, it's kind of an odd creek. Not much of a creek, but I'm here, so I'm going to check it. This is the widest part of the creek right here. Such clean water in West Virginia, at least, compared to North Carolina, where the water is so brown. Okay, we got a piece of a bottle. And it's embossed. It's slug plated. It says Glen on it. So even though it's broken, I'm definitely gonna bring this one back. And we've got a tunnel. Too bad I can't see in here. There's likely to be some bottles. Okay, I'm starting to see enough light to see the bottom. And there's a bottle. Doesn't look very exciting. Just from the late 30s. And here's something you don't see every day. Somebody threw this over the bank. Not much potential here, so I think I'm going to head on to another spot. Well, another part of the town. Okay, we found an empty house lot. And there's a lot of stuff that could produce some bottles. Burnt coal. Okay, we found a well-hidden bottle. Doesn't look that old. Yeah, I'm not even gonna dig it out. Okay, we got a bit of a low spot and it's towards the backyard, so I'm thinking there's a potential for this to be a privy, so I'll probe it out and see. Well, there's a big rock cliff right off the road, and there's somewhat of a dump. Because obviously people would want to dump off of something like that. But it looks like it's modern mostly. What kind of can is this? White Lightning. Not quite good enough condition. Oh, we've got a Dr. Pepper no deposit. They're probably worth $5. Dr. Pepper is pretty popular, and you just don't find these in North Carolina. Yeah, turtles can be anywhere, I guess. Some kind of a marker. I guess this was actually a house lot, but I don't know how they could drive to it. Interesting. 1917. Well, I see what looks like a creek, and we got a parking lot. The only parking lot in West Virginia, because it's so hilly and windy. So let's take advantage of this rare opportunity to park somewhere. I don't usually film this type of stuff, but if you want to pause the camera and read about it, you can. And here's another one. 1913, there was stuff happening here, so hopefully nobody has walked the creeks yet. Okay, now that's a nice creek. It's really wide though. It's about 28 feet wide. but it is nice and clear and not very deep. As you can see, there's a bit of a walkway to the creek, so that means it's very popular to go creek walking here, which means it's very unlikely that we'll find anything. But I came this far, so 300 miles. Let's try it out. Oh, did I tell you? There's a hutch from this little town. Yep. It's a very small town. I should have shown you the map. But I have a 1914 map that shows exactly how small this town was. And to have a hutch, that's got to be 1904. So it's got to be even smaller. It's a nice creek. It's a nice one to look at. Well, we have a piece of a whiskey. It's machine made, so that's going to be 1915 to 1920. Well, 1912 to 1920 anyway. Okay, now we're starting to get into a good looking section. But I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to show you me finding stuff. Okay, we got a soda bottle here, it looks like. But how old is it? Well, it has some embossing, but it's probably from the late 20s. Arched embossing, I can't read it. Okay, the other side is also embossed with the same thing. Raleigh? I think it says Raleigh's, which would be from Beckley. Yeah, something's written on the bottom. I bet you it's Beckley. Yeah, I can't quite read it without my glasses. But hopefully you can read it. It does say Beckley. So it's got to be worth something anyway. Okay, we got something that looks like a flask. It is. It's actually a strap-sided flask from about 1908. So that's kind of exciting to find something that old. Even though it's unembossed, it's still worth $4 anyway. And here's a bottle that looks kind of old, partially out of the water. Oh my god, it's embossed. I don't know what it says. It's got so much moss, it's hard to rub it off. Okay, let's see. Montgomery, West Virginia. It's a good one. Pretty good. It's got to be worth at least $20. I found the bottle right here, and up the bank there's actually some bottles sticking out. This one doesn't look that old, but this one here has potential. No, it's probably not that old. 60s. Okay, this is fairly old. About 1920 anyway, but not quite good enough to keep. And here's another one, broken in half, but it looks old. It's got embossing on it. It's an embossed beer from the teens. And I don't recognize the name on it either. I could bring that home and saw it off and make a drinking glass out of it, just barely. It's cut down, it's broken down just a little bit far, but no, I think I can still make something out of that. Okay, we got another soda type bottle. That's a semi-modern knee-high. Okay, we got something squared off. Okay, it is an embossed medicine. It's a Henry K. Wampole. It's maybe a $4 bottle. I just don't have room to carry all these bottles, so I'll probably have to leave that one behind. And here we have something else. It's stuck. It's very big and very deeply. Okay, I got it. Well, it's probably from the 30s, but that's just no good. It's coming to a bend. Every time I wear a pair of long pants and I roll them up over to my knees, and I think I'm going to be able to get by without getting them wet, but every time I get them wet. Every time I find a deep spot or two, and it just ruins them. Well, it just gets them all wet, and then how do I dry them all day? The creek must be kind of low because we have a bit of a sandbar, and we got a Coke bottle on top of it. It's from Beckley, West Virginia. And we have another soda bottle right here. And it must be ACL. It's a short 6-ouncer, and it's emerald green glass, so that's actually worth bringing back. And another ACL. It says Beckley, West Virginia on it though. Is the paint still on it? It is still pretty good. Let me wash it off and check it out. Well, not quite good enough. And besides, it's the sun crest. Those are so common. Okay, we got a hollow skirt that's partially out of the water. Is it going to be intact? Oh, dang it. It's another broken one. Another Beckley, West Virginia. We are coming onto a spot where there's a number of bottles. First one is a champagne, but it looks like an older one. The bottom's broken out, but that's okay because champagne bottles are not really worth anything. But we have a jar here, and it definitely looks old. You can tell by the shape of the neck. It's definitely over 100 years old, and it seems to be intact. It's just a ball, but it's still a good $10 jar at least. Okay, a well-hidden one. Is that a soda? Can't really tell, but it's probably from the 40s or 50s. And we have a broken embossed beer. And we got a big sandbar. And it looks like a lot of things have gathered on it. Mostly broken, but let's find out if there's anything intact. Let's start the exploration of this giant sandbar. Okay, there's a number of bottles right up here, but they're not worth anything. Okay, finally an intact hobble skirt. what's the date? It's a Christmas Coke, and it seems to be in very good condition. And it's from Mab Scott, West Virginia. That is a really small town. Here's another one with the neck broken off. Another Mab Scott broken one. Well, one Christmas Coke. That's good. I'm running out of room to carry things though. Okay, here's an old timer. It's a crockery jar. 8-sided or 12-sided or something, but yeah, that's definitely an old time. 1890s. And it has some kind of stamp on it. Can you read it? That's a good one. Alright, I have another hollow skirt Coke. Let's see what the date is. I can't even read it. Okay, Beckley, West Virginia again. Patent office. That's not that old, but as long as it's an embossed hobble skirt, it's worth bringing back. Oh my god, it's a hutch exposed. Let's see if it's an embossed Glenjean. Oh my god, it's got huge embossing, but it's only from Columbus, Ohio. What the heck? That is very unexpected. Made a little bit of a bruise out of it, but I'm excited to find a hutch, especially since it was halfway out of the water. Okay, another soda, and it's embossed knee-high. Very common. Very, very common, but if it's from a different town than Columbus, Georgia, it's worth something. But it is just a Columbus, Georgia. So I don't even know if I'm going to bring that back, because I don't really have room to carry all this stuff. Okay, just a few feet farther down, we got another soda. And it's got panels on it. Okay, it's just a squeeze bottle. Not bad, but fairly common. But does it have a town name on it? Mab Scott, West Virginia. That's gotta be pretty rare. Mab Scott is a rather small town. Okay, I've gone at least half a mile, maybe 2/3 of a mile. And I have so many bottles, I think I'm gonna turn around and check the other side, and maybe even walk the whole creek all over again, because there's so many bottles in here. And since I don't have room, and since I'm missing some of them, check this out. A couple of bottles right next to each other. Okay, we got a flask that's from about 1917, I'd say. And then this. It's a beer, probably from the 30s or 40s. Yeah, there's so many hidden bottles in here. I think if I walk the creek again, I could find at least 3 or 4 more bottles that I missed the first time around. What's that? Nah, that's no good. Okay, we got 3 bottles, all in the same spot. This one is a hobble skirt. And what town is it? It's another Beckley, West Virginia. Okay, what's the date? It's just a D patent, but I guess that's worth bringing back. What's this? That's weird. I don't know, but it's not really embossed. But it looks odd. And that, of course, is not worth bringing back. Obviously, somebody that liked to throw trash over the bank, because this is right near there. Okay, that is a Mr. Pibb. No deposit. Broken hobble skirt, but what is this? Just a ACL probably, because there's nothing on it. Well, what do we got here? Semi-modern beer. And another hobble skirt. A jar. Yeah, there's really a lot of bottles in here. I'm surprised, because at first I thought I was going to come out of here empty-handed. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Clear water. So clean. So easy to find the bottles. Nope, too modern. Okay, here's a well camouflaged one. 12 ouncer. Nothing on it. Okay, we got something. That's another cork top, but it's the later kind from the late 30s. But we have another bottle here. It's Amber Mason's root beer. And as you can see, I left my bottles here because I couldn't carry them all. So I'm going to haul these back to the car and I'm going to come back for another round. Okay, and right beside those, I got 2 bottles that I missed the first time around. Okay, that's a modern one. But this one, I think is a hutch. No, but it is a cobalt blue embossed bottle worth $10. Okay, still in the loaded section. Here's another beer, it looks like. Yeah, but it is embossed actually. Can't quite read it, but it's from the teens, so it's over 100 years old. And check this out. 3 bottles right next to each other. I'll start with this one. This one's broken off from the 30s or 40s. We got a soda. It's a small one, that's good. It's embossed. Clifton Forge, Virginia. It's not a straight-sided Coke, but it is right around 100 years old. So that's worth $10 anyway. And this one, probably a modern bottle. Oh yeah, it's ultra modern. A beer bottle from the 70s. And just as I was turning off the camera, I noticed another bottle just a couple feet over from there. As you can see, it's emerald green and embossed. I know what it is. It's the same as that other clear one. I'm having a hard time carrying all these bottles and filming because I have so many. Okay, let's have a look at this. That's from Montgomery, West Virginia. And it's quite nice looking with those texture and the diamonds in there and being emerald green. It's not exactly a rare bottle, but it's a good looking one. Oh my god, it's another hutch. And it's a mug base one. What's it gonna be? Knoxville, Tennessee? What the heck? Where are the hutches from this town? I can't believe I found 2 hutches and they aren't from this town. But this has got to be a pretty good one. For a Knoxville one, I've never heard of it before. So, it's still got the wire in it. It just dropped down in. So that's a pretty nice score. That's probably the best thing we found. Well, there's most of them. I lost a couple on the way back because I had to carry this many bottles. And now it's impossible. Okay, I'm checking the shore line, that is, because the 2 hutches came out right close to the edge. And they were a good 200 feet apart too, so the hutches are what we're after, especially one from this town. I don't know what it's worth, but I would say it's one of the best hutches from the state of West Virginia. That was such a long creek walk that I'm going to make it into 2 parts because, well, I'm going 2 directions. So the second half of it will be mostly another direction, but again, it will be the first direction and a repeat of it because I'm going to do a more thorough search and find more bottles. So hold on till next week.